Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack on Productions. Today I'm Bancroft being joined once again by Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
And today we're in our basement because we got kicked out of our card shop. No, they're nice. They didn't kick us out. We didn't go way past the time or anything.
Don't worry about it.
But like always, there's buttons. Feel free to click them because they're there for a reason. And with that being said, Jimmy has a profile for you, but not just any profile. Probably one of my favorite archetypes, Lineage, using the new promo Goku leader and Unison. So Jimmy,
Yes, sir.
take it away.
So I wanted to play this deck. I played a little bit of Lineage back when, that was popular. But I was more on side of that, that GT Goku side. So I wanted to play the GT cards when that set was popular. But I knew Bancroft was really excited for this deck. So I took it out from under him and I said, hey, I'm going to build the deck before you. Bancroft will probably have another profile for this and a better version of the deck. But I do think this deck is actually really strong and holds some actual merits. So we got Goku here. It didn't fucking write. I had this whole bit planned where I was just going to write on over the fucking cards because they don't come off the goddamn sleeves, but...
Try the blue one.
So we got Goku. Hey, there we go. We got Son Goku Jr. He's a Lineage leader. The auto, you look at the top 5 cards, you add a Goku's Lineage to hand. You can add any Goku's Lineage, which is really nice and makes the consistency of this deck insanely good. Activate main. Once per turn, you place 1 card from your life in the drop area, and you play a Goku's Lineage with an energy cost of 2 from your hand, which is very, very good. You have a lot of really good, strong 2-drop options now with Goten being unbanned, and also plays really well with another card from Battle Evolution that we will get into. The Awaken. When your life is at 4 or less, draw 1, untap 1, easy peasy. The backside, I don't actually know if it'll come off the card sleeve, so I'm going to be careful here. The backside, he has critical bond 2 with Goku Lineage cards, and it just specifies cards, so the ruling that I've got is that the leader card does count. Auto, draw 1, and he gains plus 5k, so 20k attacker is always good. There's never a bad time to have a 20k attacker as a leader. And then the activate main, you can pay 3, choose 1 card from your hand, and 1 card, Goku's Lineage with energy cost 3 or less from your drop area, place it on the top of your deck, and then you can play a 8-drop Goku's Lineage from your hand, which is insanely good. There's 2 really good 8-drop Goku's Lineage options. We'll get to that in the deck. It's just really, really good playing an 8-drop for 3 energy. And the top deck stuff actually plays into one of the cards, and we'll get to that in a moment. I'm not going to write on the sleeves because now I'm scared. I talked myself out of it.
Bitch.
Fuck you. So we got, I call this abusive father, son Gohan.
Just like you.
Yeah, I'm not your dad. I might be abusive, but I'm not your dad. He's blocker swap 2 for free, which is fantastic. And our main 2-drop swap target is Goten. This card is still insanely powerful. Obviously it's not as good as Storm Days, but getting a 10k swing that lets you look at the top 3 and add any card to your hand is fantastic. It boosts the consistency of this deck to astronomical levels. It's still just such a good card, and I honestly think this package right here is good enough to run in other decks if you're having issues with consistency. Especially like fast aggro decks that you need to see pieces really quickly. This is really a really good option to see those pieces since you can grab literally anything. The other 2-drop swap target is Dependable Dynasty. So in the early game, you want to be playing Goten. He's not a very good damage dealer since he's only 10k. He's great against a lot of the more popular Unisons right now because most of the popular Unisons are like 5k to 10k. So you can take them out pretty quickly. But in late game, you can go into like 1-2 swap aggro, just playing Gohan, going into Goku, swinging 15k. If you have the ability, you can go into your 3-drop and then pick this back up and just go 1-2 swap again. And the leader allows you to do a lot of free play on the front side using its activate main. So when your opponent thinks, oh, he doesn't have any more attacks, you can just crit a life and put another 2-drop out. Moving on to our 3-drop, Path to Greatness. If you've been around for a while, you know what this card is. He's Barrier, swap 8, sparking 7 for 4 energy. And then auto, you can rest one of your opponent's battle cards and draw a card. I very rarely actually play this because you have a better way of getting your 8-drop out. And you have other swap 8 cards in the deck. So this is really just here for more aggressive approaches. And it's also nice to put this out, and this just becomes like your opponent has to get rid of this or they're going to be facing an 8-drop type of thing. So they will expend resources removing this instead of removing your other pieces that you might want more than this guy on field. New card from Battle Evo. We got SS3 Son Goku, even further beyond. So he has a Ghetto Swap for 1 energy. You pick up a 2-drop and then play him. Bancroft really enjoyed that one. He's Barrier Swap 8, very similar to Path. Or Swap 5, my bad, I'm sorry. So, ignore that, cut that, Bancroft. Don't let them see me misspeak. 3 energy, swap into a 5-drop, and he is mainly used to put Pan on field. Now, this card is... I was very skeptical about this package. One of my initial plans for this deck was to make kind of like a blue-yellow package, and play more into the idea of just a good yellow cards deck, or good yellow-blue cards deck, with the option to play out a dual attack triple striker for 3 energy. Until I started playing this, and this Pan, when she's played with swap, you play 1 5-drop Lineage from your hand and 1 from your deck with their keyword skills negated. And we'll get into the 5-drop targets. But this package right here alone and the energy efficiency of it to put the amount of value on field was well worth running a mono-colored deck, because he does require all of your energy to be mono-yellow to activate his Ghetto Swap. So keep that in mind, that you have to run mono-yellow if you want to run this package. If you don't like this package, then I think this deck's going to be a fantastic blue-yellow deck, and I might play around with it a little bit more after get some of the Mecha Gabora and other decks that I want to play out of the way. Our 5-drop targets for Pan are Kaioken Son Goku, a heavy toll, SS4 Son Goku, then Ultimate Form Son Goku. So going down the list, we'll start with Ultimate Form. He is a double striker. His permanent is that if your life is at 3 or less, he reduces by 1 in the hand. So keep that in mind. You cannot play him from the hand if your life is at 3 or less with Pan. You will have to choose him from the deck. And then the auto is fantastic if you can KO one of your opponent's battle cards. If it happens to be in rest mode, you get to draw 1. But yellow lacks the ability to remove a lot of cards. It's mostly just tapping or negating its skills. So having the option to be able to just get rid of a card is fantastic. And really boosts the value of this card in a yellow deck, even though it's a 1-spot removal and he's expensive. Still worth running. SS4, he is swap 8, activate main. You can choose 1 card in your life, add it to your hand. He restands. If your life is at 2 or less, he gains triple strike. Very, very powerful card. The only issue is that Pan does negate their keyword skills, so he cannot gain any more keyword skills. So the triple strike, even if you're at 2 or less life, will not be in play. So he basically has to set on the board for a turn before you're able to actually activate that. But still, valuable card. Plus, I love the art on it. I just love SS4. And then a heavy toll. Double strike, swap 8. And then activate main. You choose one of your Goku's lineage leaders and switch it to active mode. And then it negates that skill for the rest of the game. It doesn't sound very powerful until you account for the auto not being once per turn. So you swing, you probably have the bond critical, game 5, draw a card. Then if you restand, you can swing again. Then he becomes a 25k critical that draws another card. And then if you want to run Champas or 10 times Kamehameha in the list, you can make that a double strike, and that's a very devastating attack. And most of the time, your opponent's worried more about the 25k big body on field and not the leader card. So if you restand him, they're probably or restand your leader card with this, then they have to make a really difficult choice. Do I negate the 25k attack coming at me, or to negate the other 25k attack coming at me? And that's if you have the double strike on this, I should say. Because if it's just a single attack, of course, they're going to negate the critical. Moving on into the top end. Height of Mastery. This card's still good. Still just as good as the day they printed it. Deflect. Triple strike, dual attack. The auto, if he's played with swap, choose up to 3 of your opponent's battle cards or energy and switch them to rest mode, ignoring barrier. Insanely powerful. I would like to note that with the activate main, you will not get the energy rest or the battle card rest because you have to play in the swap. But still playing a 35k triple strike dual attack that has deflect for 3 energy is nothing to be upset about. Now, the card that everybody wants to play off of it is Distant Descendant Son Goku. I think this is the first time this card has ever been actually viable in a list. To be completely honest with you, I don't think it was very viable when this set come out. Bancroft shaking his head. He's played more Lineage than probably anybody
we
watching
pulled
this video.
that in the 5 boxes we got originally for set 4 when I first started playing the game. And I put in the deck, and I'm like, I never want to play this.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was something for like $50. Like, yeah, just sell it, guys, I guess. Sure. And now I'm like,
Funny story about this. A buddy of mine that I used to play cards with, our boy Aaron Powell, shout out if you're watching this. I bought him a Rallies dinner for this card because that's how worthless it was at the time. But something I like to do with this leader, because this deck kind of caves to blue in a way, because of cards like, God Sealing Technique, and some other cards that I don't want to talk about, specifically this Majin Buu Unison. You might have heard of it. If you watched the gameplay video, you would know. I fucking hate that card. It made me lose the game. Thank you. But anyway, with the Activate main, since it opens up 2 counter windows, if you have both of these in your hand, if you're playing against like a blue player, you can go, okay, window 1, do you want to call counterplay? And if they go, yeah, I want to call God Sealing, then you just play this from hand. They just wasted their God Sealing for the turn because it has deflect. It's not going to do anything. If they don't, just put this out on field because they can't counterplay it now because it's already in play and God Sealing won't touch it. It might come up if you have blue heavy at your locals, but still, really good strategy if you didn't know it. But he is triple strike, auto. When he attacks, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck. If you combo with 5 distinct Goku's Lineage, you put 2 of your opponent's life in the drop area. So the part about top decking is not a downside actually with this card, because you can just load up 2 to the top, and that means you only have to hit 3 within the rest of the stack to be able to do the damage. And I think out of like the 8 or 9 games, I've played this card every single time due to the consistency of this deck. And I've only not gotten the crit 2 once, which is a testament to how consistent this deck is. Very good secret rare. Like, I really did not give it credit until I started playing it in this, and it's just a fantastic card. Me and Bancroft played a match at our buddy Matt's birthday party, and
it won you the game.
Yeah, it won me the game. I think I ended up swinging like 115,000 after already dealing 2 damage to you. Oh. Like, insanely good card. Now, if you're you can't afford this card since it has gone up in price, you can also just play Victory Strike. If
you can't afford one, go for the other.
If you can't afford this one, just go ahead and play Victory Strike. Like, you can probably pick them up. Like, ask your locals; they probably have like 3 or 4 just left over. So Victory Strike, he evolves on top of a Universe 7 with an energy cost of 6 or more, which you probably already know that because he probably got like 12 of these. You can just like throw into the deck.
So in the list, so I put like alternate option because you can't have 2 secret.
Yeah, rares. I mean, yeah, obviously you put alternate options.
Okay.
But it basically with your leader card, it just allows you to play Victory Strike for 4 energy, which is kind of absurd. There is a way to turbo this out using the Unison, which I will mention that. Shout out to Bancroft and his notifications there. Unprofessional.
Actually, it was Jeffrey who...
Oh, really? Ask Jeffrey if he has a couple more of these for me.
I'm sure he does.
There's a way to turbo this out using a limited card. Do I have one in here? Yeah! He will evolve on top of a Universe 7 Goku with an energy cost of 5. So you can use the Unison, put this out, then evolve Victory Strike on top of that, but that's kind of like shloop shit. I don't want to do that. I don't like that. So this is just another option if you do have a Victory Strike. If not, this is just fine. And also, don't really need a secret rare because Hide and Mastery is kind of a secret rare on its own. But, you know, if you have a little bit more money and you know, that's not an issue to you, you could actually play the real secret rare of the deck, and that's Dripku. This is fucking chump change compared to Dripku. This is the only card that matters.
Oh, my fucking card.
Fuck you. This is the only card that matters. It's Victory Strike, but when you put it down, your opponent has to give you $20. That's what the card says. No, you cannot read it. Moving on.
To the actual deck again?
Was that?
To the deck again?
Yeah, put that in the deck. Yeah, put that in the deck. Moving on. The suck. The good suck. Just search out any card with swap in your deck. 5 or less. Just, the card's still ridiculous. Like, 0 energy just to grab any card you really want from your deck. It's fantastic. Moving on to the Unison. Unison's not as bad as I'm going to make it sound, but this Unison is fucking terrible.
I forgot that it was 5,000 in our practice game. I was like, it's 5K? Token?
Like, this Unison, like, I feel like somebody at Bandai, like, just made a broke-ass Unison, revealed it, and everybody's like, bro, you gotta, like, neuter that shit hard, dude. Like, that Unison's broke as hell. This Unison's not good. The best thing it does is it's a 1-drop searcher for top 3. Like, that's really all it's good for. Then if you activate swap, you gain a marker, which it's once per turn. If it wasn't once per turn, then maybe you would keep this Unison on board for more than literally 8 seconds. And the -3 is fantastic. You can play a 5 or less Goku's Lineage from your hand. That allows like some turbo out Victory Strike bullshit. It's just not good. Like, every time I put this out, it just gets targeted down and it's dead before I can do anything. The best way to play this Unison is basically just pay 3 for it, then -3 immediately, because it just gives you a 5-drop for 3 energy. The rest of it is just meh, but it's not going to stick around on the board longer than the turn that you played it for. Moving on. Super combo spread, 2 quality super combos because they're good, and also Krillin getting absolutely fucking destroyed is hilarious. And Zamasu because it's my favorite super combo in the game. It's basically a super combo with a negate built in because you just put something in rest mode, and what is your opponent going to do about it? Come on, Krillin, you can come on. Basil because it's just a fantastic yellow card. This card is just so powerful for 1 energy. It's 1-drop cantrip. And then the activate main, it gives a dual attack and makes it a 19k until the end of your opponent's next turn. So he is not going away very easily. And just fantastic value for 1 energy. Flying Nimbus because you're not green and this is the closest thing you got to Dormant. Very good card. Nimbus. Master Roshi. This card, I just had it in my deck box, and I threw it in there when I switched over to using Victory Strike for the tournament. Just because he's a Universe 7 that you can drop for the Victory Strike Evolve. You can run really any other negate in here. I was originally running the Frieza Army Reinforcements. Is that the name of the card? The yellow one that plays a blocker token?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, whatever that one is. I was playing that one. But you can play whatever you want in this slot. If you play Victory Strike, run more U7, play these. Final Flash, this card's ridiculous. I didn't have room for more of them, I just run 1. And then 1 10 times Kamehameha, if your leader card's a Goku's Lineage, or it's a Goku's Lineage card with Son Goku in its name, it gains double strike and 15k, so that makes him a 35,000 double strike crit on the backside. And if you play this on the second swing, if you restand with Heavy Toll, then you're just steamrolling your opponent with a massive attack. And like I said, most people are going to be saving the negates for your big bodies and not so much your leader, so you can sneak this in really quickly. A lot of the games that I've done a lot of damage in was from just the leader alone, not so much the top end of the deck. That's about it. I had more bits planned. I wanted to draw over Bancroft's Victory Strike, but I felt like he would come across this table because he's already given me those eyes.
Yeah, the video probably wouldn't be posted for legal reasons. But with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed Jimmy's take on Lineage. It surprised me, so...
Yeah, tune in next time for Bancroft variant of the deck, which will probably be the exact same thing, because I don't think you can do a lot with if you just run the Lineage package.
We'll see. With that being said, Jimmy, last words.
I can't wait for Bancroft's tricolor fucking Lineage deck. It's going to be fantastic.
I think the first time you met me, I was playing Shinron Lineage, so...
You were playing Shinron's Lineage.
With that being said, thank you all for tuning in. Like always, read your cards, know your plays, and fluff out.